So, ladies and gentlemen, we this is Ali from Zena World and Zena Heart to Heart Talk. We welcome Mr. Murli Swaminathan, who is a well-known author, engineer, and a writer. He had been working with the ONGC for about 35 years or more, and then he took a sabbatical. I think he retired, and he says, "Now I have to give time to my family and to my grandchildren." And he retired in Chennai. Originally, he's from Trichy, I believe,
Okay.
which is a very beautiful town and very, I think, all the learned people are from Trichy, most probably, and Sriniveli. So this is Mr. Mulli Swaminathan, author of many books. He has 20 books with him right now. He has each book has a depth, it has a meaning, it has a lesson to tell us, and he has created and developed two beautiful characters, four people, I would say. One is Lata and Swami, and one is Girija and Bhaskar. And believe me, Girija and Bhaskar are the rage in US only. So welcome, Mr. Mulli Swaminathan, to Zena Heart to Heart, and I hand over the reins to you now. Thank you.
Very, very good evening. Thank you very much for Ali sir for this beautiful, wonderful introduction. Though I don't deserve this much of praise which you have mentioned. Yes, I am a simple human being, down to earth, and busy with my routine, mundane activities. Born and brought up in Trichy. Went to Campaign High School, one of the prestigious schools in Trichy. Then went to BITS Pilani. That was from 75 to 84. I was there. I was doing my research also, and I was also a faculty at BITS Pilani for some time. And in 85, I left BITS Pilani and joined this prestigious Maharatna called ONGC. At ONGC, yes, there are many ups and downs, many career shifts, and the top management had visualized my capabilities not only as a chemist, but also in the analytical part, and they thought I'll be a best fit in all the statistical analysis. They made me responsible for swap of data from manual to erstwhile manual system to a computerized system. I was the backbone behind the entire
Yeah, yeah.
systemization and proficient in Unix hardware, as well as in migrating from the paperwork to online SAP R3 system, wherein the entire gamut of material management activities I have migrated, shifted, and it is really a foolproof system wherein everything is just smooth with a click of a button. So I'm also a Oracle certified database analyst, an Oracle certified SQL professional, and all these are part of that activity. And one of the few Unix server capabilities I do have, I've survived three different crashes of Unix. Those days we didn't have enough access to computers, but then to get a crash fixed, yes, I had to do it within 24 hours, and it was an arduous task. Uh, all these things we had survived and come up with, and to call a spade, I had a very, very good life at ONGC with all its routine nuances and ups and downs, and great career. So this much about me and my career. Right from I started with as a chemist in ONGC, wherein I'd worked on the fathoms of various offshore platforms, offshore rigs. We used to have different types of offshore rigs, which are very unique experiences. We had to go by a helicopter to or the rig. We'll be there for 14 days. Remember those days we didn't have access for mobile and other phones, and we were only yeah, and only the radio room and the radio system was the nearest and only means of communication. Uh, and especially
Was
September to November, in the southern regions, we used to have a lot of
rain.
monsoon hiccups and evacuation and this thing. And in this high monsoon, helicopters could not reach the rig, so we have to literally train ourselves to travel in safety boats and jump into safety boats. We have hands-on experience in maneuvering all those lifeboats and everything. It was a unique experience. Thanks to ONGC for making us survive and what we are today.
You're a well-weathered man.
Seasoned, I should say, but yes, it had its own ups and downs. It had its own glory. It had its own this thing. And thanks to my family who had been very cooperative, because 14 days I was literally out of sight. Out of sight with them means no communication. They cannot talk to me, and they can only reach the base office and send a communication through the radio room. And I'll reply back through the radio room if required. Otherwise, it's going to be a tedious process and things like that. So that sort of a thing was
But
there.
which rig was this, Murli? On Bombay High or
No. I was in southern region only. I was in. There were three rigs. One is called the Gettysburg. Gettysburg
okay.
was a jackup rig. Then I was in Saga Prabhakar, ONGC owned offshore rig floater, and
Yeah.
floaters, jackups, and semi-submersible. All these things were there, and we had been in a rotation basis because manpower was scanty. So whenever one rig was going for a dry dock or something, we'll be shifted into different locations and have our schedule of 14 days on off. Come what may, marriage, festivities, everything we have to forego. Every alternate Wednesday, I have to board the flight. Every alternate Wednesday, I have to return back by the flight.
But tell me, in those 14 days on the rigs,
yes,
you used to work very hard. I mean, there was no day and night.
No, we had a day and night shift in that. The day we
Yeah.
land in the rig, it was a night shift. So exactly the seventh day, we'll have to change over from the night shift to the day shift, so that while coming out, we'll be the person coming the next week as a reliever, he'll be in the night shift and things like that. So it was a cyclic change which we were used to. There were medical facilities, there was a very good galley and food systems and everything which was taken care of, and backup supply of all manpower, material, equipments. Everything was very neatly done through our logistics section.
I was so used to night shifts, Murli,
Okay.
that I still sleep like this. I don't sleep supine. I sleep with my, I used to sit on the chair. And being in the control room,
Yeah, I understand.
you got
It's
to.
a tough job, yeah. It's a tough job.
You
Especially our
can't.
radio. I have relieved radio officers during my off intervals, day to when I'm shifting from day to night and night to day. We used to even operate radio logistics control and all those things. So everything was everyone's job, practically in an offshore. So not that I'm bound to do only this or thing like. So that's how it worked, and so it's really a unity in diversity, and one beautiful thing out there is I learned quite a lot besides what we read in our class books, textbooks. I know what is a lathe, I know what is an equipment, what is a this thing, but how it practically works in those fathoms. Oh my God, it was a real hands-on experience, real this thing, and how we have to practically withstand the heat, the temperature, the tough conditions, the viscosity of maintaining the parameters.
Yes, the milling and the chasing on the lathe. So, Murli, I'm sure these experiences, which have been, endowed upon you, these rich experiences, you must have inspired you to start writing books, writing something. And I think that seed had been sown for a long time, maybe as a youth, maybe as a child, and then the tree had to sprout.
That's true.
So could you give us an inkling as to what made you into such a avid writer? I mean, I know you as Murli the writer. I would know little of you as Murli from ONGC.
Okay.
Please don't be offended.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Only thing is, post-retirement, I was out of the blue. 30th November 2017, they said, I am no more an ONGC. I am an ex-ONGC. Now, what do? I have a peanut sort of pension which is coming up, handful of course, handsome pension which is coming up, and enjoying that. But then I am live, kicking, and energetic, and I thought I should not just sit down like that. There are offers for me to continue in the oil field. I said, no, enough of oil field experience, enough of this thing. I'll contribute in the form of helping others who literally need. And I've been taking classes for various senior officials at ONGC, people who are retiring. Even now, I'm teaching ONGC people in various disciplines and giving lectures. And that's how I keep it going. Writing, yes, has been somehow in one of the gene which is within me, and I could never stop it. And this COVID came in between and was a real blessing. We were tied up at home, we were tied up, no friends, nothing. I mean, mingling around and things. Then I thought, okay, that is how. And when I came upon, yes, I should do something. Why not start publishing? I called a few publishers and said, okay, I'm writing a book. How do you do? And this thing. He said, 50,000 rupees they will say मैं cover बनूंगा ये करूंगा वो करूंगा. Then I said no, it is a pretty fishy business and things like that. And that was the time when I said okay, I'll have to do something. And today I must today thanks to I found a mentor. I found a mentor in the name of Mr. Som Batla, and he yes, he also charged. He also had a good fees and this thing, but he was very systematic in his approach in teaching, literally from how to start and how to begin, how to be focused in writing, and how do we choose what we want to write. So that is a wavering thing. There's a writer's block. There is a how to overcome that. All these things and all nuances and all. He helped me, literally handholded me in all these aspects and how to look for what we want to look for. That is how I was basically interested in various aspects on emotions and this thing, emotional intelligence. So you can say that emotional intelligence has been my bailiwick, and with a touch of philosophy, I started scribbling. Since then, there is no stopping. I've been scribbling. Earlier, yes, it was hard days. It was difficult for me to get used to the system, get used to this thing. But then today, I'm using so many tools like thing which can expedite my writing. A book a month was the target since last year.
That's fine.
A book a month is a target. 1 week for ideation. 1 week for ideation, wherein we get the ideas and form what should be the chapters and all in that and things like that. 3 days for scribbling those ideas.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now tell me, what was your first book which you wrote? First and second and third. Can you give me a brief description?
Sure.
And what were the characters that you had in mind?
No, those days and all, it was no characters at all. These characters and all were not at all there. It was purely non-fiction like this thing. In the sense, my first book was called Interpersonal Undercurrents. Interpersonal undercurrents. You and me are talking. There are many things which I want to share, but there is certain inherent hidden quality which I said I should not share with you. So what is that which is stopping me, and why I am not coming out with this? So, like I'll tell you a clear example. When I was in faculty in one of the stations called Indian Rayon Corporation in Gujarat, there was a very, very severe cyclone. This was way back in 1983, 84.
Okay.
There was a very severe cyclone. And during that cyclone, it was a havoc. And I had 10 students, final year students, doing chemical engineering as an internship for that semester. And I was guiding them. So I said, as a faculty, I said, okay, come, let's go to the rural areas on the Saturday, Sunday, and do some social service.
Yeah.
And he said, we'll go cycling, hire some cycles, and we'll go cycling to those. Of the 10 students, all 10 of them said, okay, but 2 of them reluctantly raised their hands. Then I asked them one by one, okay, you are reluctantly raising a hand. What is in your mind? You have something in your mind. He simply said, साहब मुझे साइकिलिंग नहीं आता. मेरे peers के सामने इतने final year engineering students करने के बाद, if I come to this stage and say I don't know cycling, my peers will laugh at me. See, this small incident sparked this concept of my interpersonal undercurrent.
Yes, yes.
And I had been keeping this on my mind right in my since 84, and this book came out in 2021.
That's absolutely right, because in industry in which you were, like you were in Bhuj, where were you, sir? In Bhavnagar or where in Gujarat?
I started my career in Chennai. That was I was in West Mumbai at that time. We used to go 14 days on off, and 14 days off. I used to be in Chennai or go back to Trichy to see my parents then. Of course, now I don't have any of them. Come back next 14 days. And this was the way it was going. Then I was posted to for all officers in ONGC, 3 years posting in Northeast is mandatory.
Yeah.
Northeast is mandatory. I was posted
SM.
at,
SM.
yeah, Assam. I was posted at the place called Sipsagar, which is
Mhm.
430 kilometers northeast of Guwahati. So it was such a remote place, and I went in 94. 92 only, there was this Ulfa was at its peak.
Mhm.
Ulfa was at its peak, and two of my senior colleagues were even kidnapped and killed by Ulfa, which was in the news, and things like that. So, little reluctant
Is there
again.
any incident which you remember with the Ulfa?
Yeah.
Direct incident.
See, I didn't know that they were Ulfa. Because frankly, at that time, it was one such thing that I had
This
bought
is
a
known as
new,
the United Liberation Front for Assam.
yeah.
Okay.
So I bought a new Maruti car.
Mhm.
So I got a ONGC loan for buying cars, and it was about 1.5 lakhs or something. And I bought a new Maruti car from Guwahati, drove it back all the way from Guwahati. It was very new, not very confident in driving also,
Uh-huh.
and drove it from Guwahati to Assam. Sorry, Sibsagar, and was had parked it in a colony. Within 1 week, the car I didn't even have my RC book, which was under registration.
Mhm.
Within 1 week, 6, 7 people came, knocked at my door.
Mhm.
And they started asking, Saab, gaadi ka chabi do.
Mhm.
I don't know any of the ABC of them and things like that. Seeing this, immediately everyone started, the neighbors and all, they started coming towards me. Saab, chup-chap chabi de dijiye.
Uh-huh.
So I gave the Maruti car, the key, brand new, without knowing what is going to happen. Seven,
Uh-huh.
no other alternative. It was the Hobson's choice. They took the car. I don't know what they did, what crimes and all they committed, everything. Seventh day, promptly, the car came, parked in my shed. The key, chabi, Lelo Sab, the tank was full. Okay. So this is my experience with them. Down
Mhm.
to earth, they do what they want. They have a mission. They complete the mission. Do this. So this is what was my experience with.
This is again a lesson in interpersonal communication.
This all this is reflected there.
Yeah.
This thing, and had see newly married, new place, newly settled in this thing, new car, and
Uh,
somebody coming and asking you within the first week where register RC book is also not of income. This is what has happened. So great experiences, and be with it. Like that's it.
and tell me, what was your experience on the rigs on a stormy day or on a stormy night? How did you feel on the rigs? On the
Storms,
rigs, offshore rigs.
storms or no storms, we get a 72-hour notice for evacuation if it is
Okay.
very intense.
Okay.
So there was very good monitoring system, weather monitoring system and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
till that evacuation notice comes, we mind our business.
Mhm.
We cannot afford to think of anything else other than work. As long as the rotary is running and the equipments are running, we have no other alternative but to work.
Yes.
That
Yes.
way. So that was the commitment. That was the thing, and we kept on drilling, and that's how we were able to do achieve all these laurels and things. Yes, we were
And what was
given.
the
Yeah,
deepest you went? Deepest you went. That
we went up to 4,334 meters.
my God.
4,334 meters, and
Uh-huh.
in water depths we went up to around 700 meters water depth.
Oh my God.
So water depth itself was 100 meters, lowering
Uh,
casing and pumping out the water. And then there was a subsea walk by divers. They used to ensure that the platform where the wellhead is supposed to be kept are smooth and
uh,
uniform. All these are great experiences, technological marvels those days. And these days, everything can be done with a remote. But manually doing all those things and physically seeing all these things which is happening and all those was a
were you ever
real.
frightened? Were you ever frightened?
No.
And
That's
did
not
you?
a see. Once 14 days off, there's no question of fear. Question of fear didn't arise because yes, once when the chopper couldn't land, we had to evacuate. The chopper couldn't land. The distance between our offshore rig and the
Mhm.
supply vessel, which was the only means for this thing, was around 30 feet sea gap. So we were literally lifted in a crane boom. We have
Oh,
we have to hold in the crane boom, and
mhm.
there is a toss and pitch in the supply
See,
sea and this thing, so that
uh-huh.
we were trained to jump when the tossing is upward. When the pitch is upward, we'll be
Uh,
jumping, leaving the basket and jumping in the supply vessel that way, so that we don't get hurt and things like that. So very well equipped and things. It was a unique experience. Many get seasickness because of the tossing and things, no vomiting and all those things, and we are all used to it. So it was a part of.
I believe the cooks must have been very good to take care of your,
Yeah,
health.
yeah, 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 yeah. With even scarce foods also they used to manage, and being a pure vegetarian, yes, they had they had a tough time for me, because for others and all they would at least catch some fish and do something. And for us, yes, they had a tough time, and we used to get supplies through the supply boats every third day. So
Dear.
all the vegetables, rice, stock, material, everything, and it was really good, fantastic. It was as good as a seven-star hotel's food. I mean, we get everything, whatever we want.
And
So,
were you sharing bunks or were you sharing rooms?
no,
Or
actually,
did you?
yes. Actually, yes. There were two bunks, one for a chemist and geologist together. We were in the
Mhm,
same shift. So
mhm.
there's a geologist and a chemist. We used to same the same shift. And when we are the night shift chemist and geologist will be sharing the same. So literally four of us will be in one cabin.
Yes, because that was the time the samples which should probably come up or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Now, I mean, this is so nice. It's so, uh, it's amazing that you had this experience. But now,
and
Murali,
we are all of us are so close also, a well knit family, anything and everything we
yes,
keep on talking. Yeah.
approximately how
So
many people were there on the rig?
in
A
a rig,
thousand?
depending on the rig, right from 33 in one rig to 77 in another rig, uh, uh, variety of people, right from officer cadre to staff cadre to rosterboards
Yes.
cadre and things like that. So they used to have different levels of cabins for different officer status and things like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
it used to be literally a seven-story building or six-story building in these rigs. So it was a great experience.
It must have been. It must have been a terrific experience and learning. Now, Murli, coming to your books,
Yes.
first is interpersonal what you call
Yeah.
grooming.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, you taught me something very, very personal in this on how to communicate and how to tell the truth. I do not know how to ride a bicycle.
Yes.
Huh?
This sort of a thing. Yeah. This
Huh?
sort of a small nuances.
Yes,
That,
and these are
how to be kind.
certain places, things which either mar an institution or break it, or
Yes.
sort of take it to greater heights.
Yeah.
Because there is a fear. That fear has to
That,
be taken out.
that's true. That's true.
Huh?
That's true.
So
So what
after the interpersonal
next
thing,
book? Yeah.
next book.
Next book is honing team building skills.
Ah,
Honing team building skills from nature. This
mm,
book, I don't have a copy here. If you can share the screen, I don't know if you are able to share. Shall I
yes, yes,
share it? Shall I
yeah.
share it?
Please,
Yeah.
you can show it. Yes, yes, you can
Yeah.
share,
I'll share it
share.
here itself. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
share. Yeah. But keep talking about your book.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
About
Yeah. This
keep
honing
talking
team
about.
building skills. Honing team building skills is really about how, yeah, if you can see this,
It's
yeah,
coming up. I don't. Yeah, it's not come up so far. But if you have the book in hand,
yeah,
you can perhaps display it like this.
yeah, I don't have a copy of this right now. If you can
Okay.
see it now, yes.
I cannot see it, sir. I cannot because
One minute,
it
one
has to
minute,
be with.
1 minute. Maybe I'm not sharing it properly. 1 minute.
Um,
I'll just go back to your screen and come back to sharing. 1 minute.
but Murli, this
Yeah,
team building was necessary for. This was after your tenure in ONGC or before or during your tenure
yeah. During my
because
tenure, it was essential. It was essential in
because
the sense, one is I found bossism too much.
oh yes,
boss is always right is the first principle. And
He is
never,
right, and if he is not, then see rule number one.
yeah, 0. So, so, so this made me scribble about this. Uh, Team building and leadership you'll find in any of the management books. But
Uh,
here, what is unique in this book is you have seen migratory birds flying in the form of a V. So
mhm.
as they fly in the form of a V, there is one leader which is taking the lead, and it gets
Yes,
tired after some time. It comes back, and the other bird takes over as the next one in the lead. So in the same fashion, why can't we keep on shifting the roles to the up to the top management so that we also feel the heat of what is happening in the head's chair,
that's
and
wonderful.
this sort of a systematic approach, and as the tail bird in the end keeps on hooting and encouraging, just like cheerleaders in the cricket team. So in that same manner, as we keep on rotating, how we keep on helping each other, that is a concept actually.
Yes, I've seen the birds fly. They fly in a pattern,
Yeah, they fly in
and
the form
they
of a V, and this caught my eye. And I was seeing some movie, I mean, some video on that, and immediately thought I'll make this a unique thing about giving basic fundas of team building and how this can help in team building, and made it more
team
of a
building
success.
is essential. It's sometimes the senior person cannot communicate at all. Hmm?
That's true.
And
That's
you
true.
have to communicate with the junior people who know more than the senior. Huh?
That's true. That's true.
But
That's true.
sometimes the senior excels. He takes the lead, what you
That's
call
true.
the leader.
That's
And
true.
they're
He has to
different.
be bold enough to designate his next reliable person, like Chanakya took over the reins of the king, and he started dictating orders at one stage, something like that. So
But here,
that
here we also, the lack of initiative. He didn't call me. Why should I go? He didn't tell me. Why should I do?
again interpersonal undercurrents.
I get thing. Huh? So, I mean, I was told to do this from A to
See,
10, A to B. Huh? I will not
basic,
go to C.
basically, there should
These
be
things
an
happen in
inbuilt
plants.
motivation. There should be an inbuilt motivation.
Uh,
Simply saying it is a finances job, it is not my job. Like especially when we are dealing in material management, there is an indenter who gives an indent. There is a financial person who looks after the
mhm, mhm,
nitty-gritty financial aspects so that it doesn't exceed the budget. And there is a material management person so to ensure that everything is in as per principles. But as a material management person, I knew more of the technological aspects of the offer. I cannot turn a blind eye to say what they are saying. So these are the aspects which we have to look into as we go ahead.
Is the audio okay? Please check your
What
audio.
about you?
Audio.
What about you? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay,
I can
okay.
hear you.
From your side
So,
also, yeah, I'm able to hear you loud and clear.
yeah. So
Yeah.
because he sent a message saying, "I'll check the audio." So it was
Okay.
as
Okay.
long as it's being good. Now the third book. Now let's come to the third
Yeah.
book.
Then I started writing in series. Then now also I didn't start about characters. Then I
Uh-huh.
thought we should do something about waking everyone up to happiness.
Yeah.
So I started the series called The Art of Waking Up to Happiness.
Uh-huh.
I have 3 volumes in this, one, two, and three, and still
Uh-huh.
continuing with various aspects of morning
Uh-huh.
messages, which at the end of the day I compile into the form of a book. So this
Okay.
art of waking up to happiness, daily one snippet in the morning. For example, the milkman comes and knocks at the door and gives you the milk.
Uh-huh.
You simply say good morning and thank you. Look at the
Mm,
reaction in his face. Next time, even if he's having a shortage of milk, he'll see to it that he'll come and give you the first.
That's
That
true.
so,
That's
or
true.
take for example the barber shop.
Uh-huh.
There's a big queue in the barber shop. You enter into it. You are a regular customer. You enter into it. सब आइए बैठिए 2 मिनट में and you'll be given a priority over the others who are seated.
Mm,
Just because he thank you and give him an additional tip of 10 rupees or 20 rupees.
mm.
ये बहुत बढ़िया किया. I've not spent anything. Very beautiful. You have done this. You have done this. A
Yeah, even the
simple word of
shade.
appreciation.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, makes laurels. Makes laurels.
It makes you travel miles.
Yeah, that's true. This
Uh,
sort of a thing about that daily nuances of my wake up to happiness. So daily
so
I get
just
one snippet, something like that. How
yes,
to go out of the way and do something.
you
Uh,
see, if you're nice to your domestic health
hmm,
and your domestic, people who work with you in your house, you see that your house will be safe and secure.
That's
and your
true.
wife will also be very happy.
That's true. That's true. That's
Of course, the lady of the house has her own views.
They're
So,
very adaptive to the kitchen, and they don't want to hand over the kitchen to even the daughter-in-law. They're
no,
so
no,
very
no,
possessive.
no,
That's why.
no.
They're so very possessive. That's all. So,
That is their domain and secure domain.
Mera Mohalla, don't
They
come.
don't want to lose that power.
That way. That I've noticed, yes. This way. So this sort of a things, daily mornings, snippet, what do we, with a philosophical punch, with a philosophical thing.
Yes,
So that sort of
these are what you call the nuggets of
nuggets.
simple, simple and happy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple and happy life.
Yeah.
Now we've talked about 2, 3 books. What about your other books? Yeah, let's go in a series.
My main focus is on philosophy.
Yeah.
A lot of philosophical books, and one is cognitive emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
The cognitive emotional intelligence basically deals with, you have an IQ, I have an IQ. Why is my IQ different from yours?
Yeah.
Why is my IQ different from yours? We are in the same environment, we are in the same companies. For example, students in the same locality. Students in the same locality with identical levels of income from their parents, going to a school and coming back. One student is doing well, one student is not doing well.
Mhm.
What is that factor? Is it the factor of a complant? They call it DHA. Is it that factor which is responsible for this better IQ? Or is it something beyond, or is it there something in the gene? This sort of an analysis I have done intricately. And this is one aspect. Yes, other than the DHA and all the brain tuning chemicals and other things, yes, it has a certain role to be incorporated and inherited from the genes of the parents and four parents and things like that.
Yeah.
That is what was my conclusion. If you go through the roots, who was more intelligent those days without even much of education, they were much better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that way. So this is one aspect. I've written quite a lot on this. Uh, uh, this is on
Yeah.
emotional alchemy.
Yes. Yes.
So, what is the chemistry or the chemical behind your emotional activity?
Yeah.
Why is there an emotional outburst? A
It
simple
is.
thing.
It comes because of bottling up feelings.
A simple thing. You see a snake. What do?
You react.
You react how?
Snake.
How?
You react in fear.
You react with fear. What type of fear? You'll try to look for a snake or
That
stick or
it
somewhere.
might bite. It might bite you.
You'll look for a snake or a stick or something to hit it.
Yeah.
But if you see a tiger,
Tiger,
what do? You'll
you also,
immediately sprint.
yes.
And how do you get the energy to sprint? How does the adrenaline pump in more? There are chemicals called in the amygdala of the brain. How it gets triggered, all these aspects and all I have talked about.
Yeah.
This way.
The tiger has a different effect. The snake has a different effect.
Why do you react? Why do you react to that? In the same way in your office environment, why do you react? Certain people you like most, you have a soft corner. So for certain people who you don't like most, you have a different soft corner, different way you react.
Yeah.
Mama, wait a minute. Are you beside?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Nice, cute little daughter, granddaughter.
Yeah.
Same age group. Nice.
It's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that's true. Nice. So very lovely. So then
मुझे भी दिखाओ क्या मम्मा बस आ रही हूँ
आ जाओ, no problem. Then this is the mind reality.
बहुत टाइम निकाला है
Yeah, Murli.
Cute, so cute.
You can't stop these beautiful moments.
That's true.
Her mother came and took her away.
No problem. It's all part of life. Yes. My next book is on. You can see this, the mind reality connection.
Yeah.
The moment you see something, how do you figure out it is real? You see a visual aspect. What all are the triggers which are going on in your brain?
Yes.
It recollects to your flashback as a flashback to your past memories of similar incidents or similar dissimilar incidents or something like that. So how is that connect happening?
Uh-huh.
highly philosophical. But
Yeah.
here also, I see all these books did not go well with people in the sense it was more of a philosophical touch. Very few,
Yes.
yes, these books did well in US, Germany, and things
Yeah.
like that. But
Uh,
it was when I realized that I have to write this in a dialogue orientation.
yeah.
So I started writing books with the dialogue, and all my dialogue oriented books are really clicking and doing very, very good
Hmm.
that way. So that is how it started. Then I scribbled one more book called Fundamentals of Reality, basics from atom to what is told in the Sanatana Dharma, and
Yeah.
all those aspects. I tried
Yes.
to
Yeah. Yes.
bring in some mythology and the religious aspect and the true scientific facts. So this
Hmm.
is the way I chose the cover for this. And even yesterday, I was stunned to see a young scientist at MIT who
Hmm.
had literally stopped a photon of light
Yes. Oh,
for a
God.
few minutes. Literally stopped a
Hmm.
photon of light. Earlier in 1991, she slowed the speed of light.
Ah.
In 1991, she tried to think yesterday. It was really shocking.
Uh,
She has stopped it for a few moments and then
uh,
released it, and there was no change in its composition or in the
uh, uh,
photon releases.
uh,
So these are the things which are real wonders, and I was trying to find out its correlation in any deep mythological aspects.
yes.
Things.
Yes.
So these are the things I've tried to correlate mythology.
No, what I like is that you've all your books
Yeah,
have been based on the philosophy of the East.
yeah,
But did you ever take the Occident into consideration? The
yeah,
Oriental is
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah, yeah,
important.
yeah. I have published some of these books in audio version also. Some of
Mhm,
these books in audio version. I'll try to share again. I don't know.
mhm.
A minute. Let me.
Now, did you take the Western philosophy also into consideration
Yes,
to
yes,
make it
yes.
into a beautiful blend?
Yes, 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 yes. I do. I do. East and West philosophy, Eastern Buddhas and Western Socrates sort of point of view also. I've taken into various aspects,
Mhm.
and things like that. Like, see, are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, I'm able to see the screen. Yes.
Uh, this is. I'll show you the. Uh, this was that interpersonal undercurrents.
Yeah.
You're able to see there is an audible version, audiobook version, there's a ebook version, there is a paperback version, and there is a hardcover version. All these four will be
Yes.
available. So these
Okay.
versions are available there.
Uh-huh.
If you want to see a quick look at these covers, uh,
Yeah. So let's move on to the other. I think these
yeah,
books
this
are
is this.
useful.
Yeah,
But
you're
tell
able to
me,
see now.
I am not able to see it because I think there's something, probably my thing is not, it's marring it. The but if you can sort of raise it and show it to me like that. But I mean, these are all in the storage
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in your
Yeah,
folder.
I've sent you the link also. That entire link one by
Okay,
one, you
okay,
can see all
that's
these. That way.
wonderful. Now moving on to these beautiful characters,
Yeah, I'll
Girija and
come.
Bhaskar, Girija and
Yeah,
Bhaskar,
yeah, yeah,
and Swami and Lata,
yeah.
who, I mean, Girija Bhaskar have won the hearts of many. Uh,
Thank you, thank you,
uh,
thank you.
and sometimes I visualize myself as Bhaskar,
Okay.
but I have to look for a Girija.
Actually, Bhaskar is a very, very close friend of mine.
Uh-huh,
Studied at BITS Pilani,
uh-huh,
and he is a very great Tamil script writer, and
uh,
and he has played a major role in many of the advertisements in Tamil which are
okay.
coming up, all TV advertisements and things.
Uh-huh,
And his wife is also a postgraduate with a doctorate in geography, and she's been doing very well. She is also retired.
uh-huh,
So they are a
uh,
lovely pair. They keep on sharing. We have a very lovely time. So with his permission, I said I'm going to use you both of your characters and this thing, and that's how it started.
uh-huh.
And the sort of philosophical banters are just my imaginatory listen from the
Their dialogue is extremely
yeah,
refreshing and down to earth. It has a pungent aroma of
yeah.
coffee and idli
Yes,
and dosa,
coffee,
which you
serenity,
savor in the morning.
evening, coffee, idlis, or dosa. There is
Uh,
one on popcorn philosophy also. If you have not read that, I
oh
will
yes,
send
yeah.
you that. This thing,
Popcorn.
they both go to a cinema theater and have a popcorn during the lunch break about that
Yeah, yeah.
philosophical aspect on that. So some
Tell
small,
me,
small
tell me,
nuggets.
Murli,
Um,
if you were ever to make it into a web series, huh,
yes, yes.
who would you take on as the role for Bhaskar and who would you take on for Girija?
I'll take Bhaskar and Girija themselves as such real characters because they are good actors. They are good these things also, and both of them are very capable of doing that.
Yeah, but
But,
then maybe you should shoot a small video of them
okay,
talking, huh? And because when I read uh, the script, I feel that they have come alive in front of me.
okay, okay,
And
okay.
Bhaskar is lounging in the chair, and Girja is hovering around like a drone, checking on his activities.
Yes, yes,
Huh?
yes.
So this was this,
No, these
this,
things
this
came so naturally, like I was literally, after seeing it, I was myself surprised that it has taken such a beautiful shape. Small snippets, small nuggets, daily one, something like that. This has taken over my waking up to happiness part, actually, literally.
you won't believe it. There were some of the Western people who I shared this, and they loved
Mhm.
it.
That's true, that's
Huh?
true, that's true. This
They just loved it.
cosmic,
They said that it's
cosmic
very well
blessings
written.
and
And it's so simplistic, and you can't help smiling or laughing. You
that's
can't
true.
laugh aloud, but you,
And
you
with a
can't.
pinch of philosophy in it,
Yeah,
with
it
a
has
pinch of
pinch.
philosophy.
Yes,
So this
the
is
repartee, the repartee is excellent.
That's true. This is cosmic blessings and daily teasers. Small, small incidents. I'll just read the titles, a few titles on this, and Ragas, Dosas, and Bhaskar's Karma.
Okay,
The mystery of missing socks.
yeah, yeah. Now, Bhaskar, Murali, we have about 7, 8 minutes. So
Okay,
we'll have to wind up with Lata and Swami and
okay.
your other creations.
Sure, sure, sure.
Because I think we started a little earlier, but doesn't matter.
No problem.
But then this conversation, then Lata and Swami, tell me about Lata and Swami.
Lata
Lata
is my
is
better half.
okay, and Swami is
And
yours.
Swami as such.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we both, whatever is happening, the tu my happening at home is converted into positivity in these sort of
It's
shapes.
it's a wonderful interaction.
This
Totally
thing
wonderful. Totally
that way,
wonderful.
and
But
mainly convert it into positivity and give it out in the form of dialogue. A small incident like why dosa was not made properly today, not in shape or something like that.
ha, ha, ha.
So something like that will
Uh,
crop up and things like that. Interesting, like daily small incidents. She also laughs at it after scribbling. I write it, and what is this? So this is how it is happening. And this book, for Westerners, this is one book. Own Your Willpower.
yes.
This I have chosen two characters called Christine and Andrew.
Okay.
This is Christine and Andrew who are discussing about why your willpower is in a different manner.
Mhm. Are they also known to you, or are they?
No. It's fictitious, imaginary.
Okay,
And I
okay.
chose them mainly for the Western audience because
Uh-huh.
they like dialogue oriented and simply going on writing Lata and, like they become an awareness to Indians or something like that. So just to give it a punch and this thing, I would change the names. And here I've talked about how to control your willpower basically. This is again from a personal experience from one of my colleagues in ONGC. He was a chain smoker,
Oh my
and
God.
he was a chain smoker. With the end of one cigarette, he used to smell like the other cigarette.
Uh-huh.
That sort of a thing. And
Uh-huh.
I challenged him, hey, why are you smoking so much? You do one thing. You give me a pack of cigarettes and I'll keep it in my room. I will not smoke. I'll keep it in my room. Whenever you want, you come and take it.
Uh-huh. That's wonderful.
So he smokes. My room is about 7, 8 chambers ahead, the
Mhm.
office. So whenever he's about to leave his room, I lock my room and go out for a cup of tea. Delay his delay his this thing.
His
So,
bangs.
yeah, his fags. So
Yeah.
he got frustrated and ek हाँ मुरली भाग जाता. He used to use half cigarettes, butt it up, and relight that half and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that much addicted he was. Then gradually, from nearly 20 packets during office hours, it came down to 7 packets.
That's also quite a lot.
So that's also quite a lot, yes.
Yeah.
And his wife was very thankful to me for now he has stopped it completely.
Oh, that's wonderful.
This thing. So this is how we control the things. Yes, they are so addicted, fine, but how do we do it? So this was also in my mind for a long time. How to
Extremely
control.
therapeutic and clinical
Yes.
way of dealing with. And it didn't offend him. It didn't offend his
Because
family.
first I talked to him about cost economics, cost of one cigarette of this, how much you are spending, this, that, and all. Like didn't enter into it. Then because he was so addicted to it, then this is the only way I said, and I kept on doing it. Even so, when this was during my stay at Ankleshwar in Gujarat.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That way. So all these things happened, and that's how I have generated a rapport among myself. Even today, people at Ankleshwar and all those people remember me. That day. That's almost 30 years on that. So small things about this. I am
And
what I am.
what about your other books? I mean, this is on Christine
My
and
fourth-
Andrew, and the other book
my atheist God is again a
Uh-huh.
funny one. I was discussing about Mahabharata with my grandson, playing the game of dice. My grandson said, "Why didn't Lord Krishna himself play the dice? In that case, he would have won, being an omnipotent person, and there would not have been war."
Oh.
This whole thing instigated me, and I made a philosophical thing, seeing at life differently. That sort of a philosophical note, I changed it, and that is being published. By next week, it should be in the offering.
Which is one of your dearest books, which you feel that, close to the heart?
Realms. There's a book called Realms of Astral Planes. No, I don't have it here. Realms of Astral Planes. If you have seen the movie Avatar.
Yes.
Yes.
No, Avatar, the English version.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this book is something like that. You go in for a meditation, rather a levitation. And I do a bit of meditation. You go in for a levitation. What do you feel when you are levitating? You are in your own different world. So a similar person in your levitated field, how is he feeling? There is a big society out there. Imagine a big society out there of all people who are levitating. What will be the society like? And how they will be flying and communicating. Imaginary thing, just like Avatar, how the waters and things in Avatar, they keep on flying. This is something like that. And this has caught the imagination of the West, and it is one of my best-seller books in Amazon.
This is in India and US.
In India and US. Okay. This is very close to my heart.
And after that, what?
After that, all these reality. Now I'm coming up with this reality series. One more book wherein I've talked about black holes and how they are formed, and what has been told in Sanatana Dharma about the black holes and correlate them, so that a layman can understand.
Yes,
not that it is purely Sanskrit oriented or something like that. I know a lot of Sanskrit, so layman can understand.
So Tamil literature and language are extremely rich.
Yes.
And Tamil language itself has a history of about 5,000 years.
Yes. Now I'm also planning one book on Upanishads. There is one Mundakya Upanishad which has about 18 verses. Each one is just a couplet, and expanding that in English and this thing with the true inner meaning in a dialogue form. I'm planning now. It's going on.
Yes,
It will take some time. It will take some time for me because certain things I'm not able to comprehend as such, and I'm dependent on translations from this thing, YouTube, what they signify and things like that. So,
which language is this? The translation?
This is Sanskrit, basically. Sanskrit.
Okay, Sanskrit is very, very extremely scientific.
Yeah.
And it's
So
It's not easy. You've got to get the exact meaning.
exact meaning that way. So I'm into it now. Moreover, I've given you a list of books which I'm keen on. Psychic powers, telepathy, ESP.
Mhm.
How do they work?
Now tell me, Murli, amongst all these things, as we are drawing close to the time, what is your message to life, or to your life, to the people, and you know, the whole thing, the whole gamut around you, the whole ecosystem around you? How do you feel your writing as an author, your books as an author can influence and opinionate people to a better life or
I
to a
got it, got
happier
it,
life? Yes.
got it, got it.
Uh-huh.
Simple mantra, do your duty, as Gita says, don't bother about the results. Is this my duty? I question myself. Is scribbling books my duty? I don't know. But am I destined to do that? Maybe is it my karma? I do that. But is there any other opening for me which I can deviate from what I'm doing? Maybe tomorrow something might come up. So I'm just a puppet in the Lord's tool. He has made me do this, for which I'm thankful
Yes.
to him. For which I'm thankful to him. So one simple advice is what we have learned is just a fistful of sand.
Yeah.
And what is left for all to learn is the entire ocean's sand. So we are just not even at the surface, and we have to go miles and miles to go before we sleep, as they say. But whatever we do for the betterment of mankind. I don't know what I'm doing by writing this. One small incident I'd like to share. One of my wake up to happiness messages was fascinated by one of the priests in Philippines that
Oh.
he's been preaching my this thing in his morning's church prayers, and he sent me a message on that. So that gave me a real touching feeling. And all these royalties and all which I'm getting from the book sales, I spend all of them for charitable purpose. One is an old age home in Chennai that's called Anna Illam, and there is one orphanage, old age for old age home and orphanage. Whatever I get, like peanuts, maybe $30 a month, maybe $20 a month, whatever is there, I send them in kind, send them a bag of rice or pulses or whatever is it, and in kind I do that. So,
No, but I just wanted to update you. Are you aware that Zena is also conducting
doing
these
that.
camps?
Yes,
Zena,
yes. Jana has been conducting scams, and
he
I'm
some
aware.
for the girl child and for
I'm aware.
underprivileged children.
Yes, yes,
So
I'm aware of that.
perhaps you can help them out in
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But
on
these two, I'm committed. These two orphanages, they keep on asking me if I don't send them money. So
yeah,
that's
that is there. Whenever you feel that
and
you
it
should,
is only the royalty which I'm able to share, and that too the royalty whatever is beyond my break-even point.
yeah, but
That's it. So whatever is there, I mean whatever we bit may call it, I'm giving back to society in that form, and
yeah,
of course, inshallah,
that is
they call
extremely
it.
kind of you. Maybe you can alternate because the
Yeah,
children here being looked after by Rajiva and his team,
yeah, that's true.
they need a little attention also.
That's true. That's true. I
So
understand. Yeah.
perhaps if you have a little limitation of
Soft
something,
corner. Yes, I do have
sometimes
a soft corner. I do have this thing,
I
and
mean, of
yeah,
course,
once
time, and budget. So
that's
this
it. Main thing
it
is
would
budget now.
be
Main thing is the
very
budget.
nice.
Frankly, between you and me, post
Uh,
retirement, I'm getting around 50,000 as a pension, and just about able to manage
uh,
my ends meet and
that
then
God bless you for that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm
anything else.
not, but what you are doing is you're firing up the people's imagination, and you are helping these people.
Thank you.
So I mean, it was just a passing thought that I
Yeah, I got it.
shared
I
with
got
you.
it. I've been seeing it. I am thoroughly watching, monitoring Rajiva's group and Jena Hyderabad, Jena, this thing, everything. I'm commenting also on them, praising them and this thing and whatever is saying. I'm fully aware of what they are doing and literally this thing.
So
So this is
he's
it.
managing everything single-handedly.
Yeah, that's true.
He's also going around with a bowl of
He
funds.
has
Friends.
been asking me to start a Chennai chapter of Zena. I've been trying my level best, not able to gear up. In the sense, my physical constraints, my both the legs, knees are paining, and I don't know whether I have to go for a knee replacement surgery or not. But
You
I
just
find
have
it
it
difficult.
checked up.
Yeah,
Have it checked up.
age is also catching up. Age is also a factor now. I'm
I
now
agree.
68. Yeah. So I'll have to
Uh-huh.
see what is happening, what is thing, and I'll have to take a call on that. So, with
But
all
you need
these-
to walk also. You need to
yes,
walk.
yes, I do walk.
And do some swimming also.
Yeah, I do walk. I do some exercise and things like. Do a lot of meditation.
That's fine.
Meditation. That
But
is.
Murli, may I
Thank-
request you, keep up this passion, keep up this fire of writing.
Sure,
You
sure.
amaze us, and you will never
Oh.
cease amazing us.
Thank
You are
thank
one of the special people in the Sena heart to heart talk programs. So
Okay.
I would like to thank you uh, very much for coming on the show and giving your knowledge and sharing your experiences right from your days of ONGC to your current days. And also, I would like to thank your lady wife who's given you the inspiration, plus
Thank
your
you.
grandchildren also,
Yes.
that she's created such a fine person who can, influence and, make his opinions felt in uh, in the domestic world as well as overseas.
That's true.
So, Murli,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Rajiv, for
And
this. Thank you, Rajiv and Alisha, sir, for this excellent
please,
opportunity. Thank you, Zena family. Let's call it a day. And I'm just